Good morning, everybody. My name is Keanu LyDay, and I want to thank Sally and the Chamber for letting me speak here today. This is normally where I tell you guys a little bit about myself, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm a part of about every community service and leadership program you can think of: Social Justice League, Rotary, Lions Club, Women's March. I'm campaigning with Bill Ostrander for Assembly. Get out and vote. And I always say that my rough upbringing is the reason why I've had my successes. You see, I grew up in an impoverished household. My parents have never made more than $17,000 a year. I've lived in women's shelters, homeless shelters, been a victim to domestic violence. The list goes on. But my freshman year, I heard a quote that inspired me so powerfully that I now live my life based on it. The quote goes, "The most successful people in the world use their obstacles and setbacks as fuel to do better and to become great." And so I lived my entire childhood with the heavy weight of shame and embarrassment and hate for how my life was going until I heard that very quote. Okay, that's enough about the old me. I'm now a much happier, outgoing, and involved leader of my community, and I'm a senior at New Tech High. Now, I know it's early in the morning, but I do want to talk about something serious but very important. One of the clubs that I'm a part of is Social Justice League. And this club fights for equity and justice, not during just times of hardship and grief, but is expected in everything that we do. This club has opened opportunities for me to give talks just like this across California. I've done TV, radio, newspaper, the list goes on. And I actually have aspirations to get into politics, so I think I'm off to a good start. Most recently, though, I've been involved with Women's March SLO. I don't know if Dawn is here, but I know that she's spoken to you guys before for Women's March. And we've been collaborating on some events centered around ending gun violence in this country, but especially on school grounds. Women's March has connected me with about a dozen other local high school student activists. We organized a walkout to remember the victims who were killed in the Parkland shooting. We had about 50% of our school show up. It is a small school, so we had about 150, but 50% is a lot of the school. This group, like Armina has said, we've also organized a march in solidarity happening this Saturday, March 24th at Mitchell Park from 2 to 5 p.m. Some of the students from Florida have organized a march so large that millions of students and adults have stood up to now support ending gun violence. There is now a rush of students who previously had no interest in politics suddenly become some of the strongest voices in social activism I've ever seen. It is truly inspiring to see our generation, which is oftentimes labeled as the entitled ones or the ones who don't work for what they get, stand up and use their very articulate voices to fight for not only what we want to see, but what the country truly needs. We have mobilized and vowed to fight gun violence by demanding our lawmakers take action by passing common sense gun legislation like a ban on militarized weapons, stricter background checks, and mandatory mental health screenings. For our march, we have student speakers like myself, singers, artists, and performers who will perform at the head of the rally for about an hour, and then we'll move on with the march. We are doing this because too often do we see a lack of action from the people that we elected to represent and fight for us. And on gun violence specifically, even after 300 mass shootings and 2,500 children killed, we still see no effort to try to fix the issue. This march is us saying enough is enough. We are tired of the same routine that happens after our mass shootings, and we are tired of walking to school every morning wondering if that will be our last. And if we don't see action immediately, our legislators should not count on keeping their jobs because a lot of us will be voting this year. So now you may be asking, what can I do to help? Well, because it's so early, or because it's so late and it's happening this Saturday, what we want you to do is to show up and march with us. The more people that we get out there, the stronger our message is. This Saturday, March 24th, we march for our lives, and I hope you do too. Thank you so much.